Yo, what's up everybody, it's Kel. We're back at it with another video. In this one we got a little 2-for-1 special. So we're going to be doing 5 things I love about my Trackhawk, but we're also going to be doing a dash cam review. So as you guys know, when you watch my shorts or things like that, I get a lot of footage from the interior of my car. Especially if you watch my shorts. I'm not talking about the 360 camera that spins around and looks around. I'm talking about the ones that's actually in my car that shows me and that shows out sometimes the front of my hood. That's because of a dash cam. I'm a firm believer in having dash cams. They are very, very great tools because you never know what can happen on the road. Whether it's your fault or someone else's fault or something crazy happens, dash cams are very, very, very good. So we're just going to start this video off talking about this dash cam I'm going to review today. It is going to be this one right here by Vantruve. This is the Nexus 2X. So it's just 2 cameras. It's one out the front, I guess looking at the hood, and then one on the inside looking at you. So a big shout out to Vantruve for sending me over this dash cam. I currently have a different one in my car now, but we're going to swap it out for this one. Just see how we like this, to see if we like this a little bit more. But yeah, so we're going to unbox it, and then we're going to go on a drive and talk about 5 things I love about my Trackhawk while using this camera. Excuse my kind of janky setup here. We don't really have a full desk to kind of show you guys everything. But yeah, so like I said, I've been using dash cams for years. It's one of the first purchases I got when I got my first car, and then before I got my Trackhawk, I already had a dash cam delivered. I had a lot of things delivered before I got my Trackhawk, but dash cams are very, very, very good. I strongly recommend everybody to get one. So here we are. Let me hold it this way so y'all can see. So like I said, this is just going to be 2 cameras. It's going to be 2 cameras in one unit. So one camera is going to look at the inside, looking at you driving, and then the other camera is going to look at the outside, the front. So this right here, I guess, is an explanation. So you can use this. There's 2 ways to hardwire dash cams typically. One is by the cigarette lighter. So this right here is just a picture, if it's going to focus. It just shows you how to do that. It literally just shows you how to hardwire it via you literally just plug one into the camera and plug one into the cigarette lighter, and that's it. That is the easiest way. What I like to do is, because I don't like having exposed wire, I'll pay a mechanic, or if you're good at wiring stuff, you can pay a mechanic or just wire it straight to the battery. That way the wires are hidden and you don't have to look at them or anything like that. But I personally prefer to do the second option where you hardwire it to the battery. That way the wires are hidden, you're not looking at it all the time. But either or, if you're someone who doesn't want to spend the money or doesn't care, doesn't use your cigarette lighter like most people, then that's fine. In my car, I have a USB port when I want to charge my phone, so I don't even use my cigarette lighter. So I guess you could argue you might as well just do it that way because you're not going to use it anyways. This right here is the cable for the camera. So this is the one that goes into your cigarette lighter. This is the power cord. So it is USB-C, so keep that in mind. And then I guess we got some other little cables here. Another USB-C cable. I assume this is some type of mount or anything. But yeah, it just mounts. I guess there's a lot of different ways you can mount a dash cam. You can put it right up on the glass, which is what most people do, like put it on the windshield. I guess you could technically mount it on your rearview mirror if you want it. Yeah, so here's the mount. So obviously the sticky side goes on the glass, and then this side locks into the camera, and that's it. So let's clean up a little bit. I'm excited. Like I said, big shout out to Vantruve. Definitely a company I'm excited to partner with and work with because I love their products. And on my Instagram we did a giveaway. Maybe I can see if I can do a giveaway on this video right here. Who knows? But it was very, very fun. Here is the unit itself. So like I said, it's going to be 2 cameras. So let me think. Yeah, it's going to look like just like this. So say you're driving, like say y'all are the driver. So this lens is pointing at you, and then this one on this side is pointing out. So it's very straightforward. Like this is going to be your view when you're driving, and then there's buttons on the bottom of it that might be better if I do it farther away. There's buttons down here that control everything from voice recording to taking a photo, storing, saving clips, things like that. Wi-Fi. The camera's very, very, very easy to use, and it has a user-friendly app. So yeah, this is pretty much it in all its glory. Now we're gonna go outside, go for a drive, talk about 5 things about my car, and that's that. Yeah, so 5 things I love about this car. So I guess starting from the top, this is in no particular order. But starting from the top, I definitely say looks. So personally, I feel like, obviously the Trackhawk, the model is a Grand Cherokee. That's the model. So you have the regular Cherokee, and then you have the Grand Cherokee. But I feel like, just in general, the Grand Cherokee looks good itself. So, the Trackhawk has a few different visual upgrades. One of them is, on the front of it, it has more vents. So it's funny because my friend, he actually has a regular Grand Cherokee. And so when I got this car, obviously we were comparing just the difference, things like that. And On the front of the Trackhawk, you definitely have more air vents, obviously for the engine, things like that. But overall, just Grand Cherokees look good to me, especially when they got the right colors, you know, like black, white, things like that, and especially when you get tint, things like that. The car itself just looks visually appealing, but the Trackhawk, you know, you got the more vents, you got the badges on it, the tires just overall look more aggressive. I mean, the car itself is just very, very visually appealing, and it's an SUV. You know, SUVs are very popular in America, so it just checks off a lot of boxes for me in terms of the visual aspect. Like I said, you know, Grand Cherokees in general just look good, but Trackhawk just takes it up another notch. And you know, not to forget, I guess, my interior as well. My interior, as you can see, is what we call peanut butter guts. So like it's you know, like a brown, I don't want to say orange, it's like a brown suede leather. So you know, usually with some of these cars you see red guts, slime guts, blue guts, things like that. But in this car, this interior is almost like luxurious. So I think it adds another element to my personal Trackhawk. You know, everybody who has a cool car or their own car, they feel like their car's one of one. Obviously, you know, I'm not getting at that, but I definitely think me having a more unique or more different interior definitely adds to it just a little bit. So yeah, like I said, for number one, looks are definitely one of the major things I love about this car. Going on to number two, the next thing I'd say I love most about this car is the size. So obviously, I live in America. In America, SUVs are the most popular vehicle on the road. They're more popular than cars, bikes, pickup trucks, sedans, coupes, convertibles, blah, 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 you name it, they're more popular than. And it's for good reason. You know, people in America were bigger, for one, but also we like having the size. And with this being a SUV, it just checks off so many boxes. So my other car my daily is a Toyota Camry. And so to go from a Camry to get into something like this, you know, in the future, if I need to move things, if I need to haul things, I can put a trailer hitch on the back of this. You know, obviously getting groceries, things like that. It's just more space, and I kind of see why SUVs are so popular. Like, it really is the best of both worlds, especially when you have a performance SUV. Because now I'm not lacking on, you know, having a fun car as well. So it being an SUV definitely is another, you know, another check in my box. Like I said, now I have the space and size to do anything. I can tow things like that. Obviously, you know, if it's snowing, it's probably better to drive this. This is all-wheel drive. You know, some people like driving SUVs just because they like being high off the ground. I didn't really get that. I mean, I'm definitely high off the ground now. I still don't really get kind of that king of the road complex, maybe because I'm just so tall in general. But I definitely see the SUV love that people have for cars like this. Number three thing I love about this car is going to be looks and attention. So by looks and attention, it's kind of the same thing. You know, obviously, like I said, number one was how the car looks itself, but also just the amount of attention I get this car. And thankfully, all of my attention in this car so far has all been positive. It's nice to see that cars do, like I always say, bring people together. You can ignore my radar detector going off right there. But I mean, I love how people tell me to rev it, the wave, say I love the car, things like that. I love the sound. And it's just nice, you know, it's nice to drive something that just puts a smile on people's face. Like something so simple, a piece of metal with 4 rubber wheels on it, rubber circles on it, can bring so much positivity, love, whatever, to just people's lives, bro. It's just nice to see. It's just so nice to see. And you know, like I said, I don't go out like into the city much. You know, I'm usually driving this when I go to the gym. I live in a more rural part of North Carolina, so I don't really go out in the city much. But I know, like, once I go out to the city, especially like to the club or something late at night, I'm definitely gonna get a lot more content. I'll just put it like that. A lot more people running up to me, things like that. But yeah, I definitely love all the positive attention I've been getting since I've gotten this car. You know, a Trackhawk is a car you hear about in songs and rap songs, you know, GTA, things like that. So it's like people who know cars know how, you know, cool this car is. Even people who don't really know cars, you know, Sexy Red, Hellcats, SRTs, you know, Lil Dirt, Hellcats and Trackhawks. I mean, you know, get what I'm saying? So it's definitely a culture car, 100%. So the number 4 thing I love about this car so much is the rarity. So, like I kind of said earlier, everybody who has a cool car or a special car thinks their car is the coolest and the best. That's definitely not what I'm getting at here. But just a little background about Trackhawks. So Trackhawks first came out in 2018. They were only made for 3 years. So 18, 19, and then 20, you know, 20 to 21. You know how the years run. They were only made for 3 years. So with that being said, every Trackhawk you see on the road today or in the future, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, is always going to be used, and it's going to be one of those 3 years. Just the way the world is going today, I personally don't think that too many more modern muscle cars are going to be made. I think in the future we're going to have muscle cars, but they're all going to be electric or hybrid. I don't see too many more supercharged V8s coming out from any car manufacturer in the near future. You know, obviously we're in 2024, but by 2030, I think it's all going to be electric, hydrogen, water. You know, it's going to be all these. It's just going to be non-gasoline V8s. You get what I'm saying? There's non-gasoline cars in general, but especially a supercharged V8. Like, I just don't see that coming out in the future. So with this car only being made for 3 years, definitely adds to the rarity as well. But also, you know, like I said, I consider this almost a classic car. I honestly almost consider this a classic car just because the car itself is only 3 years, a 3-year window, and like I said, you know, probably not gonna make it too many more supercharged V8s. And you know, it's also kind of cool because it's an SUV that's faster than Mustang. I guess it could take on some Corvettes, faster than a Camaro, you know, things like that, faster than other performance muscle cars, faster than obviously Hellcats, Chargers, Challengers, things like that. It's just funny, like, you really just it truly, you get what I'm saying? Like, it really is just a unique car, just because it has so many different elements in one. So yeah, it being a little more rare, you get what I'm saying? Because I see Mustangs, and there's no hate to any other type of car enthusiast, but you know, I do live near Charlotte, North Carolina, and I see a Hellcat every freaking day. Every day I see a freaking Hellcat. So
K-band.
It's almost not as impressive anymore just because I see them so often. But with something like this, you don't really see a Trackhawk too often. You know, you don't really see certain cars too often. And this is one of those cars I put into the rare category because you really just don't see them. You really don't see them. I see Hellcats all the time. I see Mustangs. This guy's gonna let me go. Thank you. I see Mustangs. I see Camaros. I see all that stuff all the time. But in terms of Trackhawks, I personally don't see them too much. You know, I went to a car meet not too long ago, and I only saw one other Trackhawk there. Now, obviously, there's probably more in the city, but I only saw one other Trackhawk there. So I think it's just cool how this car is just a little more unique than most cars you see on the road. All right, y'all, and the last thing to end our list here for top 5 things I love about my Trackhawk, last thing is going to be versatility. So I don't like to use the word perfect a lot. Like, I don't know, I'm just weird. What's the word I'm looking for? Superstitious, I guess. I just don't like using the word perfect. But if there was going to be a perfect car, I think I'm sitting in it.
Front
So
K-band.
what I mean by versatility is this car in particular, you know, this model can do so much. So the Grand Cherokee is already an SUV. Y'all, so my camera actually didn't record this last part. So I'm going to go over what I meant by versatility, and then I'm going to go over my last thing I love about my car so much. Sorry for that. Like I said, my camera just didn't pick it up. So as I was getting into, the car is so versatile because it's an SUV, but it's also a performance SUV. So I get all the benefits of being an SUV, you know, size, space, being able to move things, you know, tow things like that. Some people like being high off the road. I get the performance aspect because this car is faster than most cars on the road. It's also all-wheel drive. So from a fun standpoint, or, you know, a car enthusiast standpoint, I definitely like that. It checks off that box. Like I said, the car itself is visually appealing. The white on the outside is a classic look. The Grand Cherokee, in my opinion, is a visually appealing car model. And then, as you can see, as I'm driving right here listening to music, the insides look nice. Like the peanut butter guts, it's just something about them. Like, it's just checked so many different boxes for me. Like I said, I got the cool factor, I got the luxury factor, I got the, you know, if I want to go on a road trip, you know, I don't daily this car, I don't drive this car that often. But, you know, I see why some people do daily this car because it just looks so nice. I mean, it checks off so many different boxes. It's faster than your average muscle car, but it's still an SUV. So I can take the kids somewhere for, you know, when I have in the future, get groceries, when I move, things like that. Or if I'm going out, if I'm going on a road trip, I want to have some space, bringing some gear. It's just, it checks off so many boxes in that regard. That's why, another reason I love it, because it's just so applicable and versatile. And then the last thing, something I forgot to mention on this list, the last thing, which you could argue would be most people's favorite, is the sound. So, as y'all know, with a car like this, the exhaust sounds insane. The stock exhaust sounds insane. I haven't done any mods to it personally, besides my tune. But the previous owners, they did put a new aftermarket exhaust on there. So my exhaust sounds a little bit better than most exhausts. And then obviously with a Mopar, y'all know what I'm about to say, that supercharger whine is just so satisfying. So I definitely say that's another thing I love about the car. You know, I love when I haven't drove the car all day and I get it and I cut it on and you hear just that rumble. You feel it. You feel it in your chest, in your heart. That's one thing I'll say about my exhaust. Like, it's not obnoxiously loud, but it just sounds overall pretty good. You know, it has that bass, that heaviness to it that a good, strong, powerful engine should have. You know what I'm saying? You hear some exhaust that sound kind of crappy, sound like somebody farting, or just way too loud, and it's just annoying. But in my opinion, my exhaust sounds, you know, really good. My exhaust sounds like what you want it to sound like. Loud enough to get attention, has deep and bass in it, but not so loud to where it's annoying and obnoxious. And then obviously, you know, when you give the gas a little bit of throttle, you get a throttle, a little bit of power. You hear that whine from the supercharged, which is what everyone loves to hear. Everybody loves that whine. That whine is so addicting, and I can't wait till I do some other mods on it to make that whine sound louder and things like that. But yeah, those are my 5 things I love about this car. Like I said, sorry my camera didn't record, so I had to just come in here and do a little bit of voiceover work. But yep. Yeah, y'all, so like I said, I mean, those are the 5 things I love most about my Trackhawk. Definitely comment down below, what are some things you like about your car? Did some things on my list surprise you? Are you surprised that I mentioned certain things, that I didn't mention certain things? Like I said, I mean, this list is obviously subjective. You know, it's all my personal opinion. And I haven't had the car for too long, so who knows? Maybe a lot of this stuff will change by later on. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited for the plans I have for this channel, but also for the plans I have for this car. As you guys know, I'm getting very close to getting monetized. That is my biggest goal. Hopefully we can get it by this year. I truly appreciate everybody that's subbing, commenting, liking. Trust me, I read every comment. Like, it means nothing more to me than when I get on my YouTube first thing of the day and I have more subs, whether it's a 10 more, 100 more, 1,000 more, 500 more, 2 more. I truly appreciate everybody that's supporting me. But yeah, like I said, that's our biggest goal still, is working on getting monetized. So please keep watching my videos. I definitely plan to make more car content videos, you know, because most of my car content is on the form of shorts and reels. But, you know, I'm putting in more effort and I'm planning to make more standalone videos like this. So yeah, definitely appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.